the lives of the be upon him. He, like other prophets, sought to turn people away from their distorted beliefs and called them to the path of God. People persisted in refusing to believe, for which reason they were destroyed with a terrible flood. Flood has been preserved for detriment to others for thousands of years. And the waters we carry the ship, a reminder to be retained by retentive ears. Noah's tribe, religious, far removed from God's verses. They either denied God or else ascribed honor to him. Honored prophethood, and with leading this deviant tribe towards the true path. Countless to have faith in God and to abide by his religion. Describes how and Noah to his people, and people worship the other than him. But again, in finding the truth, they did and accused him of being possessed. In addition, decided to watch and oppress. In the face of these, Noah always turned to God and begged for his help. Circle of Noah's people said, "He is nothing but a man possessed, so wait a while and see what happens to him." He said, "Lord, help me because of their liar." Despite all this pressure from the associators, he continued to warn them, strove day and night to lead them to the path. Yet his warning failed to direct those unbelieving people to the true path. The members of his tribe refused to follow the path of God, and used their youth in great ignorance to Noah's warnings and advice. In this, they prayed to God with great sincerity and sought his help. Called upon his Lord, overwhelmed, so help me. said, "O my Lord, I have called people night and day, but my call only increased their flight." God answered us with that he would afflict great suffering. Flood. God ordered Noah, who had heeded his command so scrupulously, to build a boat. Noah carefully constructed this boat. During the flood, the faithful would take shelter in this from the terrible. The unbelievers, on the other hand, would be drowned. To believe in Noah is verses of build the ark under our supervision, and as address me, they shall be drowned. The day of the flood came. Noah board the boat he had constructed at God's command. This is in God. So when our command came, and up from we said, "Put in it a pair of species, and your family, except for those against whom the world was preordained, and all who believe." But those who believed with him were only few. The rain fell with a fierce intensity. There was no visibility, and everything was covered. The time of suffering had come. The associators fled everywhere in their despair, trying to save them. God's path. All the only those believers on Noah's boat were saved. When the flood came to an end, receded, and settled. This is related. It was earth, swallow up your water, and heaven, hold back your rain. Water and the ark came to land Judy, and it was said, away with the wrong news. Among those who had not boarded the ark was one who had persisted. This is revealed in sailed through mountains, and Noah called out to him who had kept heart, my son, on board with us. Stay with the unbelievers. I will take you on a mountain, will protect me from the flood. There is protection from God, those he has mercy on. Waves surged in between them, and he was among the dead. Flood, described in the Qur'an and the Bible, has attracted for years. A great many myths grew up around the flood, which were shaped in the light of the cultures of different civilizations. A great many different regarding us come down to the present day. Those of Noah's flood support their view that a worldwide flood is impossible. However, that criticism is in the Torah is the first 5 books of the Old Testament, and that it engulfed the whole world. Yet the Qur'an does not make such an assertion. On the contrary, world, but the conclusion to be drawn from this is that the flood was a localized disaster. According to archaeological and historical findings, it occurred in Mesopotamia. Have been suggested flood. In this region, the oldest and the most developed civilizations known to history. In addition, lying between the Tigris and Euphrates, astonishing documents can be found in the records of most of the region. According to these documents, there was a great flood in the region that affected civilization at the same time. More important to us are the archaeological. According to these, the people living in Mesopotamia suffered a great many catastrophes in the course of history. In the 2nd millennium BC, Ibisin, ruler of the large nation of Ur, situated to the south of Mesopotamia, described the year as coming after a flood that annihilated the borders between the heavens and the earth. Around 1700 BC, the Babylonian Hammurabi described the incident which occurred then as the ruining of with a deluge, striking the region even further than ever. Floods also struck the region in the 10th century, at the time of the ruler Nabu. In the 7th, 8th, 10th, 11th centuries, so in the 20th century, it appears and has always been fees. It is thus that a power to wipe out a whole people. Deal of research in order to find of Noah's affected Mesopotamia and have uncovered such traces. And most important cities of Mesopotamia, Ur, Erech, Kish, and Shurupak. R.H. Hall of the Museum went down in history as the first person to conduct excavations in the city of Ur. To carry on with excavations after Hall, jointly organized by the British University of Pennsylvania. Woolley had a effect. They lasted from 1930 and took place in the middle of the desert between Baghdad and the Persian Gulf. The first founders of the city of Ur were who come from northern Mesopotamia and referred to themselves as Ubayyan. Archaeological information about these people encountered the most astonishing remains. The city of Ur, royal mausoleum. Many objects were discovered: swords, musical instruments, works of art made from gold and precious, and most historical inscribed on declarations with astonishing expertise, skill, and using advanced technology. Based on this, Woolley decided to evidence of a terrible flood. This was mud, pure have been deposited by water. When the excavations reached a depth of 2.5 meters, earthenware bowls emerged from underneath a layer of pure clay. The conclusion was obvious. These facts were a clear indication that the city of Ur was one of those struck by the archaeologist expressed the excavation by saying that beneath a muddy layer in the archaeological excavation of Mesopotamia research another Mesopotamian city, today known as Tal al. According to ancient, the capital of the it too contains traces of the flood. Mesopotamia. Likewise, from the University of Pennsylvania between 1920 and 1930. Traces of a civilization that had flourished in the region between 3000 and 2000 were found in these excavations. It appeared from the cuneiform inscriptions that the people of the region were culturally quite advanced. The main point is that have occurred in this city around 3000 to 2900 BC. According to the account of another archaeologist, Sir Max Mallowan, 4 to 5 meters below the earth, Smith had a yellow soil layer formed by flood, made up of a mixture of this layer the tumulus profile, and it could the latest place shown to have been affected by the flood is the city of Erech to the south of Shurupak. Today the city is known. In this city, just as in others, a flood layer of the evidence obtained study revealed that the flood area is approximately 160 kilometers, 600 kilometers to the south. This shows that the flood covered the whole Mesopotamian plain. At the moment of the flood, the rivers Tigris and Euphrates, which run the entire length of Mesopotamia, and a terrible flood resulted when the river water is revealed in the open heaven, water pouring forth, caused to gush forth springs. Waters met and rose to the extent did. When the waters rose, carried you in. As we have seen, archaeological and historical findings show the one, just as indicated in the Qur'an. The view that the whole world has a scientific basis. Moreover, such a global flood does not seem possible. One reason for this is the account of the animals taken on board the ark. According to the proponents of all the living beings on earth into the ark, these were thus preserved from extinction. But how could Noah have accommodated and kept separate all the animal species he took on board? Moreover, were animals from the continents brought to the board were probably inhabited by Noah's people. We may also assume that the animals on the ark were easily taught and protected and posed no danger to human beings. After the flood on Al-Judi, there is one very important point here. The word Judi is regarded as a specific mountain site, whereas the word appears to mean high setting or so, according to the Qur'an, The ark settled on a high place. Judah, therefore, became the name of a specific mountain. The word so had a certain height, but not as high as top level. That is to say, the flood most probably did not engulf the whole earth and all the mountains, as described in the Old Testament, but only covered one particular region. Flood is the way it is referred to by very flood is described in Greek legends, in the Shatapatha, Brahmana, and Mahabharata in Wales, Scandinavian, and in tales of Chinese origin. How could these ancient civilizations, far distant from one another, have come by such convergent accounts regarding the flood? The answer is clear. Civilizations information. This is contained in flood and civilization profit as a deterrent, and thus became part of different cultures. At each time, the texts were altered from their original form. Truth has thus been lost among mystical and the Qur'an is the only remaining source that is in substantial with the findings of that is because the Qur'an was revealed from the presence of God, special protection. It is therefore out of ever to change and depart from its true. He who down the remote, and we preserve it. Flood. Noah to end their deviant life, despite all the warnings given them, they denial of God, and were destroyed with a divine power, as mentioned in verses of Qur'an. This event has today been confirmed through studies verses. Flood. Believers must God as role models. People of traveled in the earth and seen the final those before them, they were greater than them in strength, and left far on the earth for their wrong actions, no one to protect.